Hello, everybody out there in Facebook land, TikTok world, YouTube, everywhere. This is going to be going, dropping live, all of that good stuff. How are y'all doing out there today? I am Monty Anderson, your host at 412 Productions, the art of Monty Anderson, where we talk comic books, movies, my artwork, projects up and coming, secret stuff that I can't talk about. I can, but I can't tell you the titles and stuff like that. And real life situations. Welcome to the show. Hopefully, you're all doing well out there and grooving with today's times. Um, whirlwind. But welcome everybody that's showing up just now. I appreciate each and every one of you stopping in, dropping in, and checking out the channel. We are here to, promote all kinds of cool stuff, to promote my works as an artiste, be it my acting career, my illustrations, my voiceover acting jobs, and just my homestead as well, where all my aminals are. Get a quick drink right there so that I'm not so parched. All right. Welcome to the show, everybody. I am Monty Anderson, your host at 412 Productions. I appreciate each and everybody being here. Like, share, and follow for more content on a regular basis. We go live every other day. So right now it is the odd days. There will probably be a time when it's like, oh, we went live and it's an even day. But we try to go live every other day. And, with that, we always have some fun. Got a project on my desk I can't show you. I can talk about it. It is for a friend of mine, Ken Kang. He is a pretty good dude. It's a secret project for someone, and so I can't technically show it off. And then I've got the cover work for a comic book company that I can't show off either, but I can tell you got a lot of action right on the front cover. It is very cool. It is going to be a painted cover instead of a typical drawing, just like this canvas over here is a painted canvas as well for Mr. Ken Kang. And then I've got two for an awareness program that's happening next month. The 19th, I believe, is when it's happening for Chelsea Johnson. You can check out her stuff. She is a very cool person. She is a military veteran like myself. She is still active duty. Well, I can't say active duty. She's National Guard as well. And then she is a police officer, and she's got an awareness program out there. And I am doing two pieces for her awareness program called Chaos and Anger. It's a, how should I put it? It's for mental awareness. Let's put it that way, because I don't want to get censored up here by TikTok, even though free speech is supposed to be running rampant right now. Whenever you say certain keywords, you get censored by TikTok. You get a restriction where it doesn't go live to all audience members. So we got to watch what we say. Got to watch what we fucking say out here. We can say stuff like that, but we can't say certain keywords without getting restricted or a little red blip on our screen there, which makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. So, how are y'all doing out there? My title is Work and More Work, because that's where I'm at. Between the artworks, the homesteading works, and just work around the house in general, it is all where we are. We work, we work, we work. But my work is at home all the time. From my artwork here to my homesteading to, just general carpentry work around the house that needs it, all that good stuff. So I know a lot of people punch a time clock. My time clock has already started. My time clock usually starts about 3 o'clock in the morning when I come to my art desk and, start doing my artwork there. And then after that, once sun up happens, between taking the pig and dog out several times throughout the remainder of this day, because here in a little while, probably right about the end of my show, the pig will probably want out to go to the bathroom again, and we hope we can make it through the whole show without her getting up again. Yes, we do have a pig in the house. She is a potbelly pig. A mini pig is what she's truly supposed to be, but she's about 150 pounds. And, she's as big as the dog. She is a rescue pit, and um, she's just as needy sometimes as the dog. But they're fun. They're cute. They play together. All that good stuff. But yeah, work from sunup. Well, before sunup to sundown. The life of a homesteader. I mean, it makes you reminisce back to those 1800 times whenever, out on the plains and living by candlelight, with no electricity yet in certain areas. And, it's basically a fulfilling life because you're doing what you want, when you want, how you want. You're not answering to a boss. You're not answering to, you know, anybody else out there. I mean, yeah, you got to answer to the government for, the taxes and stuff like that, but, those type things. But for the most part, I'm left alone. I pay my bills and go on. So I live a fun filled life, 100%. And you know and some of the stuff I'm talking about when I'm talking about work. If you don't follow me on Facebook or Instagram or anything like that, um, that's where I post, what's going on a lot. I mean, I post here too because if you go to my profile here, you'll see those things. The green screen is really killing today. The We've got a roll off dumpster out in the front yard. We've been clearing out the back 50 feet of new area behind the house, behind the fence. And because I found out that we have extra footage back there that wasn't claimed. And found the survey mark back there. And so we went back there, and lo and behold, everybody that's lived in this house has dumped trash over the fence. And, it's, sorry, I was checking my meter up there to make sure I was still pumping out sounds over here. And so we got back there, and it's just nothing but trash: carpet, shingles, household appliances such as steam cleaners, vacuum cleaners, um, so a microwave, all kinds of shit back behind the fence. And luckily, the neighbor has access between his dad and his grandfather, access for a front end loader and tractors and things of that nature. So he's been helping me clear the trash and dumping it into this big dumpster up here. Well, lo and behold, the dumpster, I should have went ahead and got the 20-yard dumpster instead of the 14-yard. So we figured that the 14-yard would be enough. Even he thought it would be enough. But by the time he got home yesterday from his job, he saw that it was already mounded up already. We've been able to break some things down and push it down and things like that, but still, you would have thought a 14-yard dumpster would have been able to handle most of the stuff we had back there. But that is not the case. I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to get most of the work out of there, all the trash that's back there, and I'm hoping, because I don't want to have to rent another one later on, because it's not like they come and dump it and then bring it back. That you've got it for 7 days, and after that 7 days, they haul it off and you pay your bill. So I wish they would come and empty it and then bring it back at no charge, but I'm pretty sure it would be a fee, on top of that. So, but I might give them a call just to make 100% sure that they can't empty it and then bring it back again, but I doubt they can. I think it's a one-time sit and bill and that type of thing. So, but I don't know. I didn't check into that before I rented this thing. But as far as I know, most of them are just sit in place. You fill it, they come get it, and you're done. You pay your bill, and you are good to go. So I'm not 100% sure on that. I mean, I'd like to know, so that's why I'm going to give them a call later today. So, whenever they're awake, just like the rest of you, I'm glad you're here with us. So, we have lots of artwork happening. We've got 4 different pieces right now on the desk, plus one that will be worked on as well. And so that's 5 total pieces of artwork that are coming down the pike. And I'm enjoying each piece so far. The Ken Kang piece, the comic piece that I can't tell you about, the comic cover. I can tell you that there's a lot of action on it. There is, you think, spring. Oh, geez, I just forgot. Um, what the hell? Spring Break movie. What the hell is it called? See, my brain just went blank on that. But it's that movie plus Worldwide Wrestling, WWE, out there for ya. Um, I know a lot of people don't like WWE, but that's okay. I used to semi enjoy watching it with my grandpa back in the 80s and early 90s, but I haven't really watched it since. Um, I know a lot of people still love it and love the acting in it, if you will, and all their scripted title bouts and everything like that. But no, it's not scripted. What are you talking about? It's real. It's real. It was more real back in the 80s and 90s, even though it was still scripted back then, um, than it is now. So, I mean, I know those guys are physical athletes of their time and their arena, but it's still kind of comical to watch, and it was kind of comical back then as well, and it was worse in person. My sister ended up getting my grandpa and myself and her some tickets to a show that happened in their little town in Hugo, Oklahoma, back in the late 80s. I think it was like 88, 87 or 88, somewhere in that time frame. And there were some big names up in there, and it was packed house. All of your people coming through and all your wrestlers and doing their thing, and it would just look so horrible in person. I mean, the hits that they would take, and where they would pull up before the hit actually happened, and it's just like, holy smokes. People actually just pay lots of money to go watch these live, at the bigger arenas and things like that. And it's just like, wow. I just it's just hard to watch, But I know a lot of people love their wrestling and in all facets of it. Now, give me some UFC or some boxing or things like that where it's actually real hitting, you know. And I know people get hit in WWE and all that stuff, but it's not the same. The brutality, man, the brutality. Where's the brutality that there used to be? I mean, at least in the 80s and 90s, they would have that little razor blade in their thumb or whatever, and they would cut themselves when they're on the ground, to cause the blood coming down from the hit. And I know there's a little bit of blood in today's arenas as well, but not as much as there used to be. There used to be blood flowing all the time, and so it just amazes me how many people still think it's real. but you know, but hey, some people think movies are real and TV shows are real, and they think the people on the TV screen are talking to them as well. But, that's for another story. how people get so wrapped up in a movie or TV series or whatever, and it's just like, oh, they're speaking to me 100%. And but yeah, so please like, share, and follow here, and let other people come to the show and enjoy. But we do talk movies, we do talk artwork, we do talk projects, we do talk homesteading, we talk real life, you know, because real life happens on a daily basis. Um, People hurt, people feel pain, um, and so there's many different things that you can do to help somebody out there if you really wanted to and chose to do so. Um, if you have friends that need to talk or whatever that are feeling down, depressed, or anything like that, anxious, and they need to talk to them, listen to them. Don't throw your opinion in the hat. Just listen to them, because sometimes that's all somebody needs is a chance to listen, have somebody listen to them, and vent out their frustration or their anger or whatever. It's not directed at you, so don't feel like it's that way. But now, if it is directed at you, I'm sorry. Um, but some people just need a safe space to vent their frustration, and not everybody is that safe space for them. That's why I always tell people, if you have a problem going on in your life, and you need to talk or have somebody listen to you, just hit me up on my DMs. If you've got my number, you can give me a call, anything like that. And I've got friends that will do that. And so I'm there to listen to them. I'm not there to judge what's going on in their life, because we all have different situations going on in our life that constitutes um, a listen to, or a a just somebody that be there, you know. And we don't all have that person, and I get that, because some of us are very lone wolf mentality. No, it's me or nobody else, and nobody else gets what I'm going through, or those type things. But there is somebody that's gone through the same situation you've been through out there. So if you've got those people out there in your life, kudos to you, because they're there to listen and help you in any situation that you can get in or get out of. And like I said, I've had several friends hit me up here recently that are going through a tough time, and I'm there to listen. I'm not there to judge. I'm not there to you know um, belittle them or anything like that. I'm there to listen, and if they want some advice, I'll give them some advice. But welcome to the show, everybody. I am Monty Anderson, your host here at 412 Productions. Please like, share, and follow. And if you would, go up here, go to my website, and on my website you will find the link up there in my profile page to my website. And from there you can find all my other social medias on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and you're here all with us on TikTok right now and Facebook Live right now. So we are live in two different places right now. And so, with that being said, we will now jump to another segment. We've been doing Antarctic Press for about, what is it now? 3 weeks now, covering Antarctic Press book titles. I think it's three, it might be 4 weeks now. I think it could be a full month already. Not 100% sure. But Mr. Ben Dunn has graciously put out the call to anyone that wanted to um, collaborate with him in an initiative program where uh, he sends us, the podcasters, the live shows, anybody that wanted to, a PDF version of books that are up and coming, books that are getting ready to come out. Like tomorrow, the book that we just previewed, which was Critter, comes out tomorrow as the trade paperback, and it was 100 pages for us. So that means it's well over 100 pages whenever you get the book in the store. And so it's been a fun ride so far, to give my honest opinion of what I feel and what I see and what I read, from the books, the comic books that he's been doing and sending us. And so it's kind of like a movie reviewer. Just saw one prior to me coming live, talking about the new Disney live action movie, which apparently flopped. Had over a $250 million budget to make the film, and their box office opening weekend was $44 million. You know, and a lot of people have their speculations as to why it flopped. I do not, because I did not watch the movie, and I probably won't ever watch the new Snow White movie, because I only like certain Disney things now, and that involves the Marvel world, and most of their cartoon or CGI stuff is just to me, and so I'm a Marvel guy. I will continue to watch their Marvel side and their Star Wars stuff, and some of their documentaries on Nat Geo, and things like that. But when it comes to the Disney side of it, with the movies and their movies, as far as like Snow White, Cinderella, things of that nature, that doesn't interest me. 100%. Not. I don't care. So live action or a new uh, rendition of the comic side of it or the animated side of it, I could care less. I'm not gonna watch it, and that's just me. I know a lot of people love it because they're like, "Oh, it's my childhood," and then they watch the new movie or live action film of it, and they're like, "That's not what I remember," you know. And you know, and a lot of people are like, "Why are we rehashing old stuff? Why are we trying to redo the classics?" You know, and so you've got to look at it as the standpoint of times have changed. People want the classics to fit their mold of today. Whatever their mold of today is, that's how they want it to transpire through it all. From Wicked, the Oz story retold, to um, this new Cinderella film or Snow White film, The Little Mermaid, things like that. People are like, why? There's a lot of people out there that are asking the question of why are we remaking so many old films? And some of the answers are, well, because they can't come up with an original idea of their own. They have to rehash a old classic film that did well, uh, be it The Crow. Had they used two different names in that movie, it probably would have been a great movie. But I couldn't get past the fact that they used Eric Draven and reimagined, as they put it, reimagined the story. And Brandon Lee did it justice, did the movie justice whenever he made the movie, based off of the James O'Barr comic book. And for them to come in and use Eric Draven and Shelley as the main characters, but it not follow anything related to how the original comic book went. Even James O'Barr went as far as to say it does not need a reboot, you know, and that's the creator of, and he was involved in the filming of the first movie with Brandon Lee, who tragically died on that movie set, and that's where a lot of people have issues with Hollywood, is that nobody has an original idea in their head. That they are, yes, you'll get the one-offs, and you'll get the the new movie of something, and it's okay. I mean, you get some funny moments, you get some serious moments, and I'm not talking about just The Crow. I'm talking about other movies in general that are supposed original movies out there. And then you do a little research, and it's like, oh, this is basically taking this movie and turning it into a different title, and a little bit different here. Um, but when it comes to originality, you don't really find that a whole lot anymore. A lot of people want to rehash, like I said, all the old movies: Nosferatu, Night of the Living Dead, so on and so forth. So many movies that they remake and rehash over and over and over again. Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, um, those type of things. Halloween, and those a lot of those were Rob Zombie films, except for the Nightmare on Elm Street. That was not Rob Zombie. But you want, especially Halloween was Rob Zombie, and then of course he has a lot of original ideas. House of a Thousand Corpses, so on and so forth. Devil's Rejects, and at least his stuff is original. Very bloody, very diabolical um, stuff. And so it's good that I'm wearing a horror shirt about Texas Chainsaw Massacre, basically. And um, but very bloody, very gory stuff. Very very originals when it comes to the stuff that he likes to do. Now, if more people in the industry would come up with some original ideas instead of rehashing old movies, like they're getting ready to redo The Toxic Avenger with Peter Dinklage or whatever his name is from Game of Thrones, and it's like, yeah, that one I can see doing a reboot of, but why? Why not make it a continuation story out there somewhere? Just like they could have done with The Crow. Change the names of your main actors and don't use Eric and Shelley. Use two different names and call it a continuation of the Crow lineage, like they did with the other three films after uh, City of Angels and those things. And it's just like, because the other three after the original Crow follows basically what happened in the rest of the comics that happened after the Crow. Because in so many of the comics, Eric was never in any of those. It was some other character. And so that's what the other movies followed after, was the comic book series, and how they portrayed different people going through the same situation that Eric did, and the Crow brought them back 1 year later to avenge their tragedy, whatever happened in their life that needed retribution for. And so um, that's all they had to have done. Change the names in that movie. Boom, done. Would have been its own standalone film. But no, they were trying to reimagine James O'Barr's original comic book into the travesty that it turned into. Yes, I still watched it. Yes, I still did not enjoy it. Um, and it was just like, it was hard to get through, in my opinion. But that's just me. There's a lot of people that liked it, that loved the film. I hated it. I can't really say hated it. I just didn't like it. Hate is a very strong word. I just didn't like the film, because I couldn't get past, and I know that there was a lot of cinematography stuff in it and a lot of action in it, and things of that nature. But it was just like, I just didn't like it. But that's my take on it. A lot of other people, like I said, have their opinion on it, and a lot of people did enjoy it, but I'm not one of those that enjoyed it. And just give me the Brandon Lee original, we're good. And I did like some of the other ones that followed. City of Angels was a good one, where he was avenging the death of himself and his son, um, after a tragic death, uh, for them. And then, now the one with Tara Reid in it was okay, but it wasn't great, and it was just like, yeah, it's okay. I mean, it's a standalone film, just like the other one, just like City of Angels. And but all in all, Hollywood needs to come up with their own original ideas. And I know there's a lot out there, original ideas, because I mean, I'm friends with a lot of people on Facebook that are pitching, you know, their movies, their books, their whatever, and they've got original ideas in their head. And it's just like the people that I follow that are comic book creators and or artists. You know, you see all the originality coming out on a regular basis, and it's just like Hollywood could take a hint from some of these people that are creating original ideas on a regular basis. And you know, hold on, bless me. And you know, why not team up with some of these people that have creative minds and create something new, a new TV series, a new movie, you know, based off of some of the works that are on Facebook. And but no, no, that's not the way it works. Let's find, you know, something from 1930s and reinvent it. The Grapes of Wrath, I'm sure, will be next. I mean, they already did it with True Grit. You know, the John Wayne classic, and it was a decent remake on that, but you know, it didn't need a remake, but they did it anyway. And you know, I'm just looking around my office to see what other remakes could, you know, potentially happen because it's just like some TV series, CSI this, CSI New York, CSI Australia, CSI. You know, yeah, we could have CSI in every state of the union if we wanted to, or you know, all the Chicago Fire with the Chicago PD and Chicago Med. You know, you could do that for every state of the union again. Because would it all look any different? Of course it would. Um, because I'm sure in Oklahoma they would portray it as horse and buggy still. And the old pump uh, fire station trucks and things like that. I'm not in Oklahoma, but I was born in Oklahoma. A lot of people still had the mentality that Oklahomans were riding horses down the streets and herding buffalo and things of that nature. And just not the case. Oklahoma is a progressive town, progressive state, and yes, they are low in certain things, but that has nothing to do with the state itself. So, but yeah, Hollywood needs to come up with original ideas on a more regular basis and make movies fun again. Make movies to where people want to go see a movie. And what I mean by that is that all the build up hype to a movie doesn't always match the movie. Like you watch a trailer for a movie and that's all the good stuff that happened in the film. That's the only good stuff is what happened in the trailer. Because the rest of the time you're sitting there twiddling your thumbs. And much appreciated for the likes. And and it's just like you're sitting there twiddling your thumbs through the film and it's just like, oh, I saw this in the commercial, that was the funny part, or you know, that was a good part in the commercial, in the trailer. And you're the rest of the time you're just sitting there like, I think I'm gonna go get popcorn. You know. And and so it's just like, I just don't understand some of the mentalities in the movies that they do nowadays. And you know, that's just me, because like we were talking on the show on the, what would that have been, the 23rd, that Loaf of Brad, much appreciated for the likes. I appreciate you out there, brother. The We were talking about horror movies the other day on the 23rd show, and uh, the woman that was talking to me on the live show, um, she was like, "Yeah, I haven't found a movie that scares me yet." And I'm like, "I haven't either." You know, out of all the horror movies that I've watched in my entire life, I'm 53 years old, and I've watched a ton of horror movies because that's my bag. I love horror. I love horror, sci-fi, and that's pretty much it. You can ask my girlfriend. She's like, "Can I pick a movie tonight?" because she gets tired of the horror movies on a regular basis. So, um, but I haven't found one that has kept me up at night or made me run out of a theater or those type of things. Like I've told the story many a times when I was in the military. Oh, People Under the Stairs, that was a good movie. That was a great movie. And that one, it had its creep factor to it, and it was totally original. Loved that movie, and it, it didn't scare me, but it was a good movie. A lot of the older '80s and '90s movies, as far as horror went, were some of the best out there, even including some of the stuff today. Now, like I said, Rob Zombie, he's got the blood and gore factor covered when it comes to his movies, and that's what makes his movies good to watch, is because there is that blood, there is that gore, but there's also a little bit of comedy in his stuff. There's also a little bit of seriousness in his stuff. It's not all just over the top blood, gore, horror, those type things. But he makes a decent film when it comes to that genre and that niche for it. But you know, um, where was I going with that other thought? Oh, well, doesn't matter. It'll come back around if it comes back around. And so they need to come up with their own original ideas and come up with something new and shocking, if you will, when it comes to Hollywood films. And it boils down to originality, and they've lost that touch. Um, like I said, they would rather rehash an old movie and try to make it something relevant to today's times than uh, come up with something new. And that's what I just don't understand. Why don't you want to come up with something new? Why do we want to continue to rehash all these old films that have had their great runs from back in the day? And it's like, but no, we'd rather rehash old stuff and try to make it relevant to today's times and society than come up with something new. Because I can come in here, take this old movie, find the old script, and let's rehash a couple of new lines in this movie, or just change this scene up just a little bit because I think it would have been better this way, or those type things. Some comments in this live were filtered to protect the community's experience. What the fuck is going on with you, TikTok? No one is saying anything unless somebody's throwing something out on the comments that I'm not seeing because you're protecting the community. People see worse than this on a TV show. People say worse than this on a TV show. You want side boob? We can do that. You want fries with that? Sure. I mean, come on, TikTok. That's the one thing I hate about TikTok these days is that everything gets semi-censored, if you will, because they're sensitive little souls. And that this ain't that type of show. They're TikTok. I don't know what you're bawling about, but anyway, um, originality is the key. Make something original. Now, I don't know how original mine is when it comes to my comic book that I'm working on, but I'm hoping it's going to be semi-original for me. And I've seen a couple. I've seen what I'm doing in my comic book is I've seen it happen a few times in movies and in some other comic books, but I don't see it hardly at all ever on one of the aspects I'm doing, and that's the main character talking to you, the reader out there, and uh, and so like I said, I've seen that. Deadpool does that occasionally, um, but when it comes to on a full fledged basis, you don't see that very often, and so that's an original spin for me on my comic book. It's going to be a 4-issue miniseries. I'm not giving out the title just yet because I don't want somebody to run off with it and make it their own. So I'm keeping this pretty much hush hush, secret, but letting you know that there is a comic book in the works with 4 different books going to happen. So 4 books with 4 covers per book. I'm not going to go over the top. Um, yes, called Breaking the Fourth Wall. Deadpool does it. Yeah, yeah. That's and not very many movies do that. I've seen it on a couple of movies, 100%, and that's it. I haven't seen it on a lot of movies. And I think one of the other ones I saw might have been another Ryan Reynolds movie as well. And so my character is going to be speaking to the audience who's reading the book, and there's going to be cryptids in there. There's going to be mythological creatures in there. So there's all kinds of different things that's going to happen in this book. But again, 4 issue miniseries with 4 different book covers for per book. So there's going to be 16 total covers when it's all said and done. And with that, I'm not going to rehash the same artist on every book. I see that done a lot. Uh, Artists that are creating their own books right now are like, well, I'm going to use this same person 2 or 3 different times on some other covers down the road, and I'm not going to do that. I'm going to have 3 fresh artists per book, and now that's not saying that I won't have a splash page or a pinup page or something like that in my books that that same artist worked on as well, to give them some more exposure for their artwork. And not that they need it, because the people that I'm got in my mind and the ones that I'm writing down on my list have good exposure already. It's just that, some of them might work in the industry. Some of them might have cover work under their belt already. Like me, I've got 1 comic book cover under my belt with William Russell's Psycho Sal. I'm working on book number 2, which is going to start out as a PDF book right off the bat. So I'm going to need your help in getting some sales on that book. Now, I'll get a small proceed of that, but not very much. And, you know, if it does well, then that one will get put on the printed cover. And then I'll make a little bit more money. So, it's one of those type of incentive programs where I can make some good money from it, but, and I can sell the original. So there you go. Because the original is mine. And but no, this is going to be fun. I mean, I'm not. For a hot minute there, I was looking for cover job after cover job after cover job, and I sat down with a colorist who did my work for William Russell Psycho Sal #3, and we sat down and chit chatted for a while, and it was like I told him that's what I was doing. I was trying to chase some cover work and get more cover work under my belt, and then I told him about my project, and he goes, "There's where you need to focus. That's where your focus needs to lie. Don't be chasing all these other cover jobs out there. They'll come. It's a fleeting passion. People are still going to like them. But, if you have the chance and opportunity to do your own thing, then chase that." He goes, "I wish I would have chased that before I started um, doing colors for everybody." And this is someone that works in the industry with Marvel, DC, Image, you know, the big companies, and then also does independent titles as well. And he's like, had I chased my own dream, I'd probably be making a killing right now, just because, I do have those ideas and dreams, but whenever you're bogged down doing everybody else's work, you don't have the opportunity and time to do your own work. And I get that. And because it's like me working on commissions, it takes the time away from me that I could be writing on my comic book and getting it up and running. But instead, I'm working on the commissions, which I love, and I want more commissions because that's what helps pay the bills. Where do you get inspiration for the storylines? For mine, it's all coming from my head. That's I get inspiration from everything I see. I'm in nature a lot, and I'm in the woods a lot, and that's where a lot of my inspiration comes from. And things that I've seen in my life that I can't that people say that didn't really happen to you, or you didn't really see that, or that couldn't have happened. Those type of things, because I live in a haunted house. A lot of people don't believe in haunted houses. Um, there's a rational explanation for that. No, there's not. When things move mysteriously and they shouldn't be moving, there's no earthquakes, there's no electronic homes, there's no this, that, or the other. Um, so there will be ghosties in my story too. Um, but I have poltergeist activity on a regular basis inside this house. In this room, that's why I keep a digital recorder right here at my desk, because I get EVPs in here all the time. Now, can I make out what they say? No, but you can definitely, in this room, it is pretty silent. The only sound that's going on right now is the hum of the ceiling fan right behind me. And I can hear it through my headphones, yes. And, but there's times when the ceiling fan hasn't been on and you just hear things. And so I'll put the recorder on and then I'll start asking questions. And, and my inspiration again comes from everywhere. Like I said, with the cryptids, Bigfoot, aliens, things of that nature. I've seen a Bigfoot. I have seen UFOs. I have not seen an alien, but I've seen UFOs. And, when it comes to mythological creatures, such as fairies and pixies and gnomes and goblins and trolls and mermaids and things like that, I have not seen those, but, a lot of other people have seen those, especially mermaids here recently, more recent than not. Um, how can we say that those things really don't exist? A lot of people just go, "Oh, that's just crazy talk. You got a screw loose up there in your head. You got some issues going on that don't can't see." And so they chalk it up as you're crazy, you know. But I am crazy, but that's just a different point. But no, and a lot of it also comes from real life inspiration, um, from my own life, from other people's lives, and it's just you meld it all together. You try to make a cohesive story out of everything that you've got flowing and going in the book. So that's where some of my inspiration comes from. I can't say it comes from movies or TV shows or anything like that because I haven't seen anything like it. So that's it's all original to me. But again, as I sit in front of the computer and tippity type, all my stuff out there, it's all flowing from my head. And so then I go back and reread what I've written just to make sure it all flows continuously together. Um, and I mean, I can tell you that the main character's name is Robert, and that's a twofold basis. It's based off of my father, who passed away when I was young, and then also I named my son Robert Logan Anderson, who uh, ended up passing away at 17. And so there is the inspiration for the main title character's name. And so, you know, um, that name will forever be etched. You have two kids and enough enough trouble trying to keep my reality straight. Now I get that. I had three, two daughters and a son. Like I said, the son passed away back in 2009. Uh, that date is coming up relatively soon, in June, and then his birthday. in July. So it was a rough couple of months right there, all the way around. But, that's where inspiration comes from. It comes from real life situations and real life realities, um, that, you know, a lot of times could be tragic. A lot of times could be fun. A lot of times could be comical. Um, so you play off of everything that has happened. And a lot of it's coming, like I said, a lot of it's coming from stuff that's happened in my own life. And, I am to the point where I probably should have started this a long time ago. And I probably would have a comic book in my hands right now to show you. But I started it sometime at the end of last year. And that was about the same time I was deciding to change my business name to 412 Productions instead of what it used to be, which was AGK, Anderson Graphics Kingdom. And so from there, once I did put 412 Productions out, a lot of things changed. Um, I felt like my old business had a lot of negativity to it, and so that it probably had, some negative connotations to some people who felt like they were done wrong, or whatever else. And so I just killed that company. Boom, just like that. December 31st, 2024, had a tombstone with the old logo and the date, start date and end date of that company. And it freaked a lot of people out because I thought I was getting out of the artwork business. And it freaked my mom out, you know. And she was like, "You're not giving up your artwork, are you?" And I'm like, "Mom, just wait till tomorrow on January 1, and you're going to see what happens." January 1 rolls around, and boom, here's a new logo, a new products that's going to happen. Everything is brand new. 2025 is the start of something new. And with 412 Productions, The Art of Monty Anderson, you can go to the website. Boom, right up here. In my profile, you'll find the link. You can like, share, follow all my other socials. And please like, share, and follow here as well, where we talk about movies, comic book art, comic books, my artwork, my comic books, and real life situations, just to keep everything relevant. We don't talk two things here because everybody loses their damn minds whenever you do talk about those, which is politics and religion. We don't talk about those. Those are ixnay here. Those are gone. We don't talk about that stuff. Um, and that and I see a lot of that type of thing, political comic books as well, and I'm just not into that. So there will be no politics in my comic books. But it's just going to be fun with the 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 horror theme, the science fiction theme, and your otherworldly theme in there as well. So, with, like was mentioned already, the breaking the fourth dimension and the main character talking to you, the reader out there of the comic book. And I hope it's a fun ride for everybody because it's already a fun ride for me to see how it all goes down. Just because right now, just writing the comic book, because I'm doing it all. I'm the creator of the comic. I'm writing the comic book. I'm illustrating the comic book. I'm inking the comic book. And I'm probably going to leave it as a black and white and leave it at that because the covers will be color. Now, whenever I do some splash pages or things of that nature, I'll probably do some color to it. But for the most part, excuse me, it's going to be a straight black and white book. And I know that's relatively unheard of in today's times. But welcome to the show, everybody. Seriously, I appreciate each and everybody stopping in, checking out the channel, even if it is for a brief moment. Or they're like, "Oh shit, I don't even know why I came in here. I gotta click out of here real fast. I don't want this." And but yeah, I'm hoping it's gonna be a fun ride because, like I said, it's already been fun for me uh, to be in the process of writing it because you have to write it like a script. Um, Page one, panel one. This is what's happening. you know, panel 2, this is what's happening in there. This is what's being said in that, you know. And so you're always thinking outside the box, if you will, when it comes to the writing process, because you have to treat it like a movie script. Because, well, what if this does get picked up as a movie later on, or a TV series, or those type things? Because that would be cool. But you never know what could happen out there. People could love it. People could hate it. People could protest it because, oh my gosh, there's witchcraft involved in here. There's Wiccans in there. There's witches. There's warlocks. There's Bigfoots. There's aliens. Oh my gosh. Oh Lord, I gotta get my crucifix and bless you. Those type things. Now, if you don't know, I was a preacher for 1 year. I had a pastor's license for a year, and so I make fun of religion too. So it's all good. And but no, it's all fun and games when it comes down to it because uh, I want to have fun in the comic book, and it's if you're not having fun in the comic book, people aren't going to have fun reading the comic book, in my opinion. And that's where a lot of people take their craft of writing very, very seriously when it comes down to comic books. And once you see that in their work, then you're able to have fun with them as they have written the story. No matter what comic book it is, Batman, Uncanny X-Men, X-Men, whichever derivative you look at out there. See, me, I'm not a Superman or a Captain America fan. I could care less about either one of those characters. And a lot of people are like, oh, sacrilege, you're not American. Well, who is? I mean, really. And, but no, I am an American. I am also Indian as well. But we can't prove it just because, we were labeled as Black Dutch. So, part of the Cherokee Nation because they wouldn't sign the dotted line with their X. Um, because my great great grandfather on my grandpa's side didn't want to be labeled as cattle, and so he did not sign. So they relocated them, called them Black Dutch, and took away all their Indian heritage for the most part. So yes, I have Cherokee in me. But there you go. But no, I'm hoping it's a fun ride for everybody, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm really ready to get it finished as far as the writing process goes because I hate writing. I want to get to the artwork, the action, and bring the panels to life. Um, and you know, and I'm sure some things will change as I'm sitting there drawing it, and I'll have to go back in and rewrite, what's happening. But for the most part, it's me. I am the creative driving force behind this all, and it's a fun ride already, like I said, and I'm wanting it to be a fun ride for everybody else that reads it or sees it in form, in the comic book form, and then there will be a trade paperback at the end, and all this will be available on Kickstarter once I get it up and running. Once I get my creative team in place for the covers. Like I said, I've already got a list of people that I'm looking at, and so I'm gonna go from there. But I do appreciate each and every one of you being here with us today, checking out the channel. If you would, please go up there, like, share, and follow, and hit my other broadcast channels up. Um, so, but look forward to my comic book. I haven't given you the title, and I'm not giving you the title because I don't want it going anywhere. And I'm only giving you a little bit of what it's about, but not the true form fashion behind it all. We are breaking the fourth dimension, where my character is talking to you, the audience out there, and so we are going to go from there. But again, I appreciate each and every one of you being here with us and checking out the channel. Again, even if it is for a brief moment in time, you are much appreciated and loved out there. So, with that being said, I gotta go take care of something else. Some animals, real fast. I appreciate each and every one of you being here, stopping in, checking out the channel. Look forward to you the next time, which will be the 27th, which is the Thursday. Which is the Thursday? No, it is Thursday. And that's the 27th. And that's when my next show will be. Roughly about the same time, 4 o'clock in the morning. Anywhere between 4 and 4:30 in the morning is when I kick off my show. But I appreciate you. Love you guys. And I will catch you on the flip side. Have a good day, everybody.